Forgive me raising the matter, but as Marguerite is away for a few days in the north visiting relatives, I thought this might be an appropriate moment for you and me to have a little chat.
I see.
Well, is it true?
Yes. With your permission, of course.
Why not? You seem to be a personable enough young man, nicely spoken, neatly dressed in brand new country gentleman's clothing. I'm sure you won't mind me asking you a few questions about your background, parents and so forth.
My mother was born in Hereford, a farmer's daughter, and my father is an Italian who came to this country in the 30s from Genoa.
In the 30s, Jewish?
No, Catholic. Very devout. Of course, I'm not religious at all myself.
My dear boy, you don't have to excuse yourself to me. We're all liberals here. I have no prejudice against Catholics, not even lapsed Catholics. In fact, some of my best friends are lapsed Catholics. But tell me about your father. Was his name Tyndall, too?
No, his name was Tindolini. But if you had a name like that in those days, you had to make it a ice cream. He was a watchmaker, and he wanted us to become English, so he changed it.
Become English? Was he a successful man?
No. As a matter of fact, he wasn't. You can't expect to make a living these days just repairing watches. He went broke in the end. I always told him he would.
Well, it must make him something of a burden to you.
Yeah, it does a bit. He never went back, you see. He's still in Soho, still thinks he had it good all those years.
Do you? What do you do?
Don't you know? I have a hairdressing salon in South Kensington. Casa Tindolini.
Oh, you can use that word these days, can you? People don't take it for an ice cream salon.
No, the ladies seem to like the continental touch.
English too wholesome for them, eh?
Yeah, well, it's not chic, you see. We found that it pays to provide the Latin lover atmosphere. Of course, we lay it on a bit thicker in the Brighton shop, the less sophisticated down there. I mean to say, in London, half of them have actually got...
Latin lovers? Where do you live? Above, behind, or below your shop?
I lease a mews house nearby. It's convenient and attractive. It's Georgian, actually.
From Genoa to Georgian in a single generation, eh? Not bad. But I doubt whether an 18th century architectural gem in South Kensington whispers quite the same magic to Marguerite as it does to you.
She adores old houses. She can't wait to live in it.
I'm sure she already was living in it, once or twice a week at least. Not mistaken, am I? And that your motive in renting the cottage down here was to increase the incidence of this bi-weekly coupling.
Is that what you asked me over here to chat about?
Never speak ill of the deadly, eh? If I choose to say that my wife converses like a child of 6 and makes love like an extinct shellfish, I shall. And I don't need to ask her lover's permission to do so either.
Thank you for the drink.
Oh, no. I thought you were brought up in England. Surely you know it's not done to be rude.
You were being rude about a woman I'm in love with.
On the contrary, I was reminiscing about my wife.
It comes to the same thing.
Things mostly do, you know. I'll wager that in a year's time, it'll be you who'll be being rude about Marguerite and I who'll be being rhapsodic. I've quite forgotten how intolerably tiresome, vain, spendthrift, self-indulgent, and generally bloody crafty she really is. Can you afford to take her off my hands?
Afford to?
Support her in the style to which she was not accustomed before she met me, but now is.
Well, I'm not a millionaire, but I'm not starving either. The shop in London's doing all right. The one in Brighton's almost breaking even. By this time next year...
next year, sometime never. What you're really saying is that at present, you're skint.
We'll survive.
Survival is scarcely the point. Presumably, when you're married to Marguerite, you'll want a place on the Riviera, fast car, couple of mistresses.
Presumably. Just because you need those things.
Oh, no, just this fading mansion, the slowest Bentley in Wiltshire, and only one mistress, I'm afraid.
Taya, the Finnish bird who runs the sauna in Salisbury.
Oh, you know about Taya, don't you?
Marguerite and I have no secrets from each other.
Not even mine, it seems. Taya is a Karelian goddess. Her golden hair smells of pine, and her cobalt eyes are the secret forest pools of Finlandia.
I hear that she's a well-scrubbed blonde with all the sex appeal of a second-hand Jeep.
Not so, dear boy. You can take it from me. Taya is an engaging little trollop and suits me mightily. Mind you, she takes a bit of keeping up with. It's a good thing I am pretty much of an Olympic sexual athlete.
Yes, I suppose these days you are concentrating more on the sprints than on the long-distance stuff.
Not so, dear boy. I'm in the pink of condition. I could copulate for England at any distance. Red.
Well, as they say in the Olympics, it's not the winning, it's the taking part that counts. Are you going to marry her?
Oh, no. I just want to live with her.
So what's stopping you?
Basically, the firm of Prurient and Pry Limited, whom you and Marguerite have seen fit to employ, they're so innocent. Those nicotine-stained private detectives who've been camping outside Taya's flat for the last week.
It was an insurance policy to keep you from changing your mind about the divorce.
How did you know I wasn't having you what?
Why not? Afraid of what you might find out? Or didn't you think that was possible?
Now, don't start doing a fertility dance. Of course, I knew that they'd find you and Marguerite rotting away like crazed weasels. But why should I pay good money to have something confirmed which I'd known for months? Black.
Then if you knew, why didn't you do something about it?
Of course, I had to assure myself that you and Marguerite were going to be a fixture. You see, I want to lose the dear girl for life. Not just a 2-week Tindolini perm set and touch up.
Good shot.
Yes, it was. Yellow. You see, you don't know her as well as I do. You think you do, but you don't. If you fail her, by which I mean cancelling the account at Harrods or shortchanging her on winter to Jamaica, she'll be back to me in a jiffy, mewing for support. And guilty wife or no, she may be entitled to get it. Green.
Money isn't everything. And what if she is used to luxury? Whose fault is that?
It's not a fault if you can afford it. But can you? Knowing you to be hard up, Brown, has she shown any signs of mending her ways in these last idyllic 3 months? Lou? When, for instance, did she last turn down Dom Perignon in favor of, no offense, mind you, the persuasive charms of Dago Red? Black. No, I'm not joking. How much has this brief liaison cost you so far? And that old dad of yours in Soho, when did you last send him any money?
We have talked about money. Often I've told her we spend too much.
She takes no notice.
No.
Silvery laugh, coquettish turn of the head.
Something like that.
Well, it is to solve this little problem that I've invited you round here tonight. And this, as they say, is where the plot thickens.
What plot?
Whatever are you doing with that cue in your hand?
I was waiting for you to miss.
Foolish boy. Once upon a time, my dear Milo, there was an Englishman called Andrew Wyke, who, in common with most of his countrymen, was virtually castrated by taxation. To avoid total emasculation, his accountants advised him to put a considerable part of his money, some £250,000, into jewelry. His wife, of course, was delighted.
Marguerite never told me that you'd given her any jewelry.
Oh, no, did I? Of course, it's still mine, as well as she knows. We just thought it'd be more amusing for her to wear it than for me to bank it, after all. It's fully insured.
I see what you mean by the plot thickening.
I'm glad you followed me so readily. You see, I want you to steal that jewelry. Tonight, for choice, with Marguerite away, it's an admirable opportunity.
What about the servants?